Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville.
Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? Welcome to the first episode of Lee and His Sneaks, where I'm going to talk to you about the shoes in my collection and my personal connection to these shoes. So for our first shoe, we have the Air Jordan 3. Now the Air Jordan 3 is one of the most iconic silhouettes in the Air Jordan line. And my personal opinion is the Air Jordan 11, but we'll talk about that in another episode. The Air Jordan 3 was released in 1988. And little do people know, this is the sneaker that convinced Michael Jordan to stay with Nike. Yes, Michael actually did not want to talk to Nike at all when he was drafted into the NBA. He actually wanted to go to Adidas, and Adidas looked at him and said, "Nah, brother, you too short." What? Now, to Adidas' credit, right? Back in the day, the 70s, the 80s, it was all about watching big guys play ball. 6'11", 7'6", seeing these huge monsters just run up and down the court, and little old 6'6" Michael was just not cutting it. All right, cool. Let's go to Converse. Mike wore Converse back at UNC. Converse already had Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, James Worthy, Bernard King, etc. They had these heavy hitters. So Mike's father, James Jordan, was just like, well, what are you gonna do that's different for my son? Converse said, nothing. All right, cool. See you guys later. Fun fact, Converse is now owned by Nike. So then Mike's mother, Dolores Jordan, she said, boy, you need to get on that plane and go talk to those folks at Nike. Mike gets on the plane. He would just seem uninterested at the meeting. They showed him the Air Jordan 1. It was black and red. He said they were devil colors. But long story short, he ended up signing a 2-shoe deal. Mike broke his foot in his rookie year in the Air Jordan 1. Mike hated the Air Jordan 2. So he was dead set on leaving Nike, but Nike said, hey, if you decide to leave, it is mandatory that you take a look at the third shoe. So Mike comes back to Oregon, has no desire to stay with Nike. He already made his mind up, I'm leaving you guys. So then Tinker Hatfield, the godfather of sneaker design, who we'll talk about in another episode, comes to the meeting and breaks out the Air Jordan 3. Mike's eyes lit up. First, the elephant print. No shoe had this. And Mike had his own logo. Yeah. So this is actually a silhouette from a marketing campaign for the Air Jordan 1 where Mike is soaring over the skyline of Chicago. Needless to say, Mike stayed and won the slam dunk competition in 1988 wearing these shoes. So what does this shoe have in common with me? What is my personal connection to this shoe? So when I first got my job at Nike Town in 2001, as a senior in high school, this was the first Air Jordan Retro that I bought. So the Jordan brand coined the term retro. Whenever they re-release a sneaker, we say they're retroing the shoe. So this is the Air Jordan Retro 3. So if you ever hear some sneakerheads talking about how, oh, I can't wait for them to retro this shoe, they're talking about re-releasing a shoe that was previously released. So, but the thing was, with me, I hated 80s basketball sneakers. Yep, I hated them. Why? Because when I was in elementary school many moons ago, G.I. Joe was still in the air. One of my schoolmates, this kid named Walter, he was a kind of shabby kid. He wore these frumpy Converse high top basketball sneakers. It just had cons written on the side of them. And one day, outside the cafeteria, Walter vomited. Now, I hate vomit. I cursed my sister for this. I mean, we all hate vomit. But I remember when I was a kid, I watched The Exorcist. And that scene where she's just vomiting all over the room, my sister told me it was mustard. And I didn't eat mustard until my adult life. I saw the movie Stand By Me, right? Remember the pie eating competition where dude just goes ham vomiting everywhere? Hated it. So when I saw Walter blow his chunks in front of the cafeteria, it was brown and it smelled like fart. I just remember him wearing his Converse and that smell, and I married the two together, and I hated high top basketball sneakers. Like, I remember when they retroed the 5s for the first time. I think this was like 2000, and it was the East Bay catalog, and I saw they were retroing the Laney colorway, and I saw them like, ugh, Walter. That's all I could see. That's all I could see when I saw those shoes in the catalog, Walter. So this was a shoe that broke me out of that high top funk. And I love high top basketball sneakers now, especially from the 80s and the 90s. I love them. So yeah, the Air Jordan 3 is what got me, was what brought me back to high top basketball sneakers. And Walter, for some odd reason, if you happen to stumble across this video, brother, I hope you're doing good out there and staying safe. But yeah, that's the Air Jordan 3. And I haven't worn these yet. I got these in 2018. They re-retroed them. I bought 2 pairs, sold the other one, kind of regret it, but I still got this one. Haven't worn it yet, still fresh. And I don't know when I'm gonna wear these though. But for our next episode, we're gonna talk about what happened if Michael didn't stay with Nike. What would Tinker Hatfield have done with that beautiful shoe? Well, we got an answer right here. So next week, we're gonna talk about the Nike Air Higher, actually. Thank you so much for watching, much appreciated. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna have fun telling you these stories and talking to you about my love of sneakers. And yeah, man, thank you so much. All the best.
Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville.